Arthur Morgan, a wanted man in America who had to flee to the Caribbean tropical island known as Guam. All he has with him is his wits, the broad shoulders he carries the gang on, and of course his trademark Soviet Union issued AK-47 assault rifle. His mission is simple, to sneak back across the border into the USA so that he can steal jobs and sell fentanyl to American children, and if there's time, re-establish his gang of outlaws. The crew isn't looking too motivated at the moment, but at least we can all trust this guy. I proceed to take all the food for myself. Despite the risk of the group starving, Arthur is on a pretty aggressive dirty bulk. Gains don't take vacations. I set off to find our leader Dutch in the hopes that he has a plan. The Lord's holy tears of joy effortlessly stream down the river as I bask in the ambience. I proceed to get rammed by a bush pig and fall all the way down the cliff. I get to my feet and jump right back up. The Lion King taught me to trust bush pigs, but my ex taught me if you forget to reply to their texts because you're too busy playing Halo 3 with the boys, then they'll chop up your favorite hoodie. That was like 10 years ago, but I'm going to start trauma dumping on you guys from time to time because therapy's expensive and I'm saving for a house. I go and meet Dutch, and he's looking haggard, especially considering we've been here for like one day. I follow him into a dark cave. I've heard girls from the Caribbean are something else, but this woman is stunning. I would jump into a swimming pool filled with syphilis-infested needles just to put my name in a cowboy hat with a million other names for the slim chance of winning an opportunity to smell her saddle. We head deeper into the cave. It's kind of this smoke show to be our tour guide. I believe there's a tipping culture in these exotic islands, so we'll have to take that into consideration. Dutch proceeds to violently choke the woman until she dies. We just watch on and do nothing. I guess this is how Tristan Tate feels. We climb up a ladder and see our captured amigo Javier Escuela being dragged through the mud by a donkey. We must free him as he's the one who will definitely know how to sneak back across the border into America. We creep around, not even at all subtly, just in plain sight, but no one notices because they're too busy beating their new Mexican prisoner like he was a piñata. My ex was a piñata, because I needed a blindfold before I hit that. Okay, look, if I'm being honest, I'm lashing out because I still think about and miss spending time with my hoodie. Dutch stresses how important it is that we stay out of sight. When using mods, it's crucial to never break the immersion, but rather enhance it. Is Arthur using the Force unrealistic for a cowboy game? Arguably yes, but yet I've somehow created a better Star Wars experience than most AAA developers. I run into the forest as the soldiers chase after me. Dutch says, "Yo Arthur, hold them off. Javier's totally passed out and I'm going to put a penis on his head." Arthur replies, "You mean draw a penis on his head?" Dutch chuckles and runs off into the thick vegetation. I have to fight them off with my AK-47, it's very Vietnam War-esque. Of course it was the Viet Cong who were using the Russian weapons. That was an interesting war. It goes to show that highly trained soldiers will always beat rice farmers. Or you know, the exact opposite of that. I kill dozens of men. Arthur will need to greet so many strangers and release so many fish to balance his honor scale and prove to the world he's a top bloke. I scamper off back to camp. Javier's sitting down sulking. Somebody has a victim complex. It's not like his fingernails were peeled off or they forced him to have a 45-minute brunch with Ben Shapiro. It was just a light beating. A little less feeling sorry for yourself and a little more planning our escape, amigo. The only way I know how to get across the border is in the back of a truck, and there are no trucks in this era. Although I might know somebody back in the States who will sell us the best kind of truck there is. A Cybertruck. Cybertrucks are fascinating because they have none of the benefits of a normal truck and they look like complete unrendered dog shit. I go for a walk and see a body hanging from a tree. Speaking of hanging corpses in forests, let me know in the comments or like the video if you'd be interested in seeing me kill Logan and Jake Paul in a Hitman mission like I did with Mr. Beast. All of a sudden I'm hit with a poison dart and knocked unconscious. Would you like an all expenses paid trip to another country, free food, free accommodation, and unforgettable memories with the lads? Then vote Modest Pelican for president because I swear I'll bring back conscription. We'll be conducting your basic training in War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made and is available for free on PC and consoles. What better way to defend your proud country than by commanding over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships? My second act as president will be making abortions legal, but only with Panzer tanks. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects place you at the helm of the most powerful war machines of our time. Under a modest Pelican regime, all who vote for me will get their own personal Boeing AH-64 Apache helicopter. Does your neighbour share a different political view than you do? Let's see them try and push their anti-aquatic large bird agenda with an AGM Hellfire missile locked onto their urethra. Join a community of over 70 million players in legendary PvP battles with unmatched wealth of high-quality content to discover. You can play War Thunder for free on all platforms by using my link in the pinned comment or video description. New players will also receive a bonus pack that includes multiple premium vehicles. Remember, a vote for Pelican is a vote for freedom. The freedom to use massive military war machines to resolve minor domestic conflicts. I wake up strapped to a chair. I begin swinging in it, which goes against my better judgment. All my teachers used to tell me these horror stories about kids dying from swinging on chairs, falling backwards and imploding their vertebrae, which was a wild thing to tell a 12-year-old. That being said, there was actually one infamous chair swinging incident. This German kid wanted to impress the bad little Fräuleins in his class, so he gave them a lit 240-degree obtuse tilt, but lost balance and fell right back, all the way into Poland. These girls were about to laugh at him, so he quickly announced this was all part of his full-scale invasion. 2 days later, it was a world war. I free some prisoners, and then walk to the other side of the island via a cutscene because besides everyone, who really wants time to properly explore Guam? As we're preparing our escape, our opposition send a battleship at us. Seems like a massive escalation, but the gang decides to take it on. These ranchers have more self-belief than a hairy chubby girl with an OnlyFans. Plus, how did they orchestrate this? We're fighting a small remote resistance group and there's clearly no navy here. We're defending a medieval castle for Christ's sake. I don't see Cuba having warships, so it must be Spanish or more likely an American vessel. Which means the national military is after us because we're naughty cowboys? The Caribbean islands have a huge volume of oil. Ah yeah, right, I get it. We destroy the battleship with ease. I mean, it's just a battleship, it's not like it's an old Nokia phone. This clears the way for us to cruise all the way back to the States. We split up and each take a turn at running the USA border gauntlet. It turns out it's super easy to sneak into 1899 America, if you're white. I climb aboard and am welcomed with open arms by many of the Van Horn townsfolk. I quickly realise these townsfolk are undead hungry zombies. How cool would an official Undead Nightmare sequel be? I'd play that so much. Rockstar, you should do it. The boys and I will even record the zombie voice lines for you, free of charge. I wouldn't be surprised if after hearing me say this in my video, Rockstar actually go ahead and greenlight a standalone zombie expansion. I could be very persuasive. I once went to a feminist rally and came back an hour later with my laundry washed and folded. I proceed to save the world in 15 minutes because Arthur is an overachiever. The only mount I can find is a donkey, but fortunately it's fast. I ride all the way to St. Denis Doctor where I collapse to the ground in pain. It's not looking good for Arthur as he coughs up blood. The good doctor says he's infected with tuberculosis, which is spread through air particles and human touch. I go for a long, self-pitying, dramatic walk down the streets of St. Denis. Arthur reflects on life's biggest mysteries. If Eminem's mum released her own spaghetti sauce, would it do numbers? Has Arthur just infected the entire gang with tuberculosis? Is it gay that Javier and Arthur cuddled a lot while on Guam to keep warm? Both men and women can make love to a Pringles can, but will either enjoy it. Maybe Javier and Arthur had several tropical smooches too, but it was lonely back there. Does anyone actually like J.K. Rowling? It would be weird if we repeatedly yelled out, "Yo, anyone wanna have sex?" But birds do it all day. How do Amish babes know if it's a romantic candlelit dinner or just a normal dinner? Look, okay, Arthur and Javier made passionate love regularly, but it was a long 3.5 days and they're planning to cut right back now they're in America. I decide I better head back to camp and see how everyone's getting on. I see a blind beggar needing cash, and so I throw him some coins. Now Arthur is immediately jacked and aesthetic. How did he get these muscles? Lifting visually impaired people out of poverty. I ride my donkey back to camp and it's good to see everyone again. For a group who move locations every few weeks, you'd think they'd be good at choosing campsite locations. They've sure done a poor job at picking this swampy alligator-infested mess. The mosquitoes quickly flee as they don't want Arthur to infect them. I go and talk to Dutch and he wants me to rob a bank or something. Nah, mate. Instead, I go and talk to our newest member of the gang, Elon Musk. I find him leaning on the wall, sharpening his little stick. We decide to go on an adventure together. As we make our leave, Elon proceeds to yap to Arthur. He says, "Do you like me? Do you think I'm funny? Am I the best little South African meme lord in the world? Arthur, please tell me you like me. I bought Twitter for the memes. You seen my tweets, Arthur? I tweet memes. It's called X now. My kid's name is X Latin AEA12. How funny is that? What a great meme, I'm goofy. Kamala Harris is the reincarnation of Joseph Stalin." Elon's an interesting guy. Like, one minute he's giving the Ukrainian military internet access via Starlink, which seems great, but you also can't help but feel he's probably trying to grow a baby Hitler in a lab so that he can breastfeed it. As we ride, he continues to make Arthur wish his tuberculosis would hurry up and end him. He speaks of a new colony on Mars where nepotism billionaires will actually have taxes paid to them from the slaves. I mean the citizens. Elon begins emotionally unloading on poor Arthur. He speaks of his 12 children and how much he hates it when they try and spend time with him. For Father's Day, they gave him a pathetic handmade card when all he wanted from them was to retweet his latest meme. Elon says the only thing he hates more than racial minorities asking for vacation days is wearing a condom. In fact, he hates rubbers so much he took a break from spreading conspiracy theories, gathered 4 of his most junior engineers, and spent several afternoons designing the Cybertruck. He successfully produced the most effective form of birth control since explaining your fantasy football league strategy to a woman. So I wildcarded last week and I've gone for an ambitious Salah Haaland draft, also squeezing in Palmer and Saka. To balance the aggression, I've utilised Aston Villa's cheap assets as enablers. Anyway, the Cybertruck. With an unmatched aura that's known to dry up the uterus of even the most fertile women. Besides arguably any other vehicle, what's cooler than a Cybertruck? The slick Minecraft-inspired aesthetic isn't just designed to dry up panties. Thanks to an impressive feat of engineering, the Cybertruck can tow loads of up to 13.5 kilograms. Many of our loyal Elon Musk fans are excited to take the big girl off the road and forge new adventures. Well, just remember one simple tip for going off-road. Never go off-road. Enjoy constantly worrying about where the next recharge station is as you enjoy the generous 1 hour and 15-minute battery life. The rigid body of the Cybertruck has made crumple zones completely obsolete. Instead of the force being absorbed by the crushing metal, all of the energy from the crash will be passed on to the family inside. Even a 40km/h crash will catapult the driver and their loved ones out the front windshield all the way to Valentine. This fine motor machine isn't just for our 2 largest demographics, divorced dads and Elon Musk's baby mamas, it's also for those who like a little danger. The Cybertruck is bulletproof. It's not actually bulletproof at all, we just say that. It sounds dope though, right? I know what you're thinking. Didn't Elon say he'd put a man on Mars by 2021 and that was 4 years ago? Didn't Elon start taking a medicinal ketamine prescription around the same time he designed this? Look, we could answer those great questions, or we could talk about the model we're driving here today. This vehicle was specially created, tailored, and designed by a divorced dad for divorced dads. This variant is called the Cyber Beast. Really, that's what Elon went with. We were going to have a meeting to think up a better name, but Elon said it was a fire meme. Watch your Cyber Beast evolve in front of your eyes. Within a few weeks, you can witness your vehicle grow as it rusts due to the brave raw stainless steel design choice. Those patriotic enough to pre-order will get to try out a few of our prototype features. The exciting speed boost has gone through the same vigorous R&D testing that all our features experience. Basically, Elon does heaps of ketamine and then sends a company-wide email saying he expects a fully functional prototype by close of business. Our most ambitious feature yet was thought up by Elon earlier today and should be available for retail and all reputable car dealers by Wednesday. We give you Cyberflight. You won't just be driving, you'll also be flying with our new liftoff control. With a click of a button, you and your family can glide above the treetops. Just watch that battery life, you ambitious goose. We hope you'll buy a Cybertruck for the fair price of $65,000. Elon united a nation with this innovation. It's the first time the left and the right have ever wholeheartedly agreed on anything. That this truck looks like a child's first attempt at drawing a car. Buy your Cybertruck today. It's time for the final test that every good motor vehicle should pass. Can it sneak across the border into Mexico? I get a healthy run-up and send it over the river, but the truck fails miserably and lands in the water below. We are flung from the car and he just stands there looking smug. I realise I must kill Elon so that he stops selling Cybertrucks to poor naive divorced dads. We begin throwing hands and Elon's no match for Jacked Arthur. I beat him down, but then to my shock and horror, another Elon appears. Jesus Christ, the world isn't ready for this many autistic memes. I keep swinging, but these tech billionaires have surprisingly impressive hand-to-hand combat capabilities. Before I know it, there's a dozen Elons and I'm greatly outnumbered. Now I see why he fired all of the Twitter employees. Elon Musk is the new Twitter employees. With him being 100% of the workforce, he can ensure his memes are always being pushed by the algorithm for the world to see. For example, in this tweet where he said, "I put the art in fart." That's a classic Musk banger that needs maximum exposure. Unable to deal with the gaggle of Elons, I decide to swim back to the USA. It's a long swim, but with every stroke, I taste that sweet American freedom. Panicking more than me in the grocery store when I'm at the checkout and Anna suddenly has to get one more item and I have to deal with the cashier and bagging all by myself, I realize there's even more of the South African in the motherland. I pull out my AK-47 and give them some lead. They'll write songs about this battle. This is for all the poor souls who pre-ordered Teslas and then Elon upped the price and made them pay more. Then when they finally arrived and started driving around in their new Teslas, their parents thought it was their way of coming out of the closet. Elon might have scared all the advertisers away from Twitter due to his anti-Semitic views, but Arthur won't run, because Arthur is Jewish. Nah, he's not, but that would have lined up well. The fight lasts 7 long hours, or approximately the same amount of time that Tesla spends on their safety testing for all new vehicles. As I quickscope the last Elon, it becomes clear what I have to do to stop this madness. I need to kill Prime Elon. Although these Elons were tough, Prime Elon will be our most difficult challenge yet. I locate Prime, and suddenly the stainless steel design choice makes sense. It's so he can look at his own reflection and mew. While he's distracted, I sneak up behind and capture the big girl. I throw him off a bridge in a brave attempt to see if gravity will end the eccentric tech lord's life. When checking on him, it appears his ego broke the fall and he's completely unharmed. I place the Space Karen on the train tracks and attempt to crush him with the handcar. He proceeds to dodge the wheels just like he mysteriously dodged every Dogecoin dip. I figure a steam train should sort out the ex-CEO once and for all. Unlike the people who worked in Elon's parents' vast diamond and emerald mines, he somehow escapes. Water has always been the most important thing in my life, and so I turn to it for hope. I dump Elon into the lake, but he manages to breathe and I end up just baptizing him. With the Holy Lord now watching over Musk, we've unintentionally made him stronger. I have to kill this man, not just to slow down the commercialization of the Cybertruck, but also to stop him inserting microchips into people's heads. Imagine if you were daydreaming about Sydney Sweeney's glorious rack, and suddenly the image blurred and a HelloFresh ad popped into your brain, and all you could think about was a healthy, affordable, convenient way to prepare meals. Instead of learning a language, you would simply pay for Brain Chip Premium and acquire the knowledge as soon as you had updated. That actually sounds amazing, but no, we have to kill Elon Musk for the sake of Duolingo's shareholders. I continue trying every method of death I can think of, but each time I believe I've lined up the kill, something goes horribly wrong. I then realize this is my Dunkirk. This is my grand retreat, but what happened after Dunkirk? The systemic bombing of many European cities, resulting in the casualties of millions of innocent families. But you see, Elon metaphorically built those bombers. But he also metaphorically designed the anti-aircraft guns that shot them down. Elon desperately wants the world to be saved, but only if he can be the one to save it. The only one who can stop Elon is Elon. Arthur takes his final form as I continue down one of the most random tangents I've ever included on this YouTube channel. It's time to settle the score once and for all. I get down on my knees and blow Elon. Kidding, I fight. Elon versus Elon. A part of him wants to follow through on his promise of spending $6 billion to end world hunger. Yet the other part wants to channel those same funds into surgically inserting a brain-controlling microchip into a baboon's head, and then strap it into a Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket ship and send the cute little primate out to explore the universe. The fight finally ends as Arthur defeats Elon Musk Prime, finally putting an end to the absolute madness that is the Cybertruck. Arthur proceeds to slash Elon's corpse with a machete, and then he ascends upwards towards space. Arthur Morgan is no longer a cowboy, he is now Prime Elon, and he will live out his days on Mars where Elon can finally be the smartest person on the planet. Thanks again to this video sponsor War Thunder. Play the game now on PC, PlayStation or Xbox using my link in the pinned comment or video description. Those of you who haven't played War Thunder yet or are returning after a break of at least 6 months will receive a massive bonus pack including premium vehicles, 100,000 silver lions and 7 days of premium account. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, check out my other channel Papa Pelly for more videos. I love you.